Hi guys, my name is Michał and we are going to talk about WordPress Gutenberg today. So in new WordPress editor we have tons of blocks we can use. And most of these blocks are static, right? So in my video I will try to show you how to make your block alive on the front end. So as you can see here, I've added some basic paragraph block here, which I'm gonna remove now and add my custom block which I've created earlier. So the block functionalities are fetching WordPress users. Here you can see we have me and John Doe. As you can see, after changing the user, the block has changed. So the users are being fetched from the WordPress users, as you can see here. So if we go to users, we can see that here's me and here's the example user. So the block is displaying the user's name, user's avatar, and a button, which after clicking will show you some more data. So let's save this, close this, and I'm gonna refresh this page. So as you can see, the button is working here, the button is working here, but the button isn't working here. So to make the block interactive, like in WordPress admin, we have to add some magic to the code, right? So we are in our plugin folder. We have some directories and files here. So the first folder is build. We have here some JavaScript files, PHP file and CSS file. So basically these files are the compiled assets of our blog. Next we have our component folder, in which we have our React components. Then we have node modules and source folder. In source folder we have index.js, which is our blog, JavaScript, and utils, which are my functions I'm using in the index, as you can see here. Then we have index.php, which is our main plugin file, and here we can see some basic WordPress plugin comment, some basic plugin functionalities, and our scripts, index.js, our styles, style CSS, and our function which registers our block. Then we have package.json, which is a basic package.json from WordPress documentation. We have some basic scripts here and my dependencies like API fetch and stuff. So let's go to our React component. And as you can see here, this is user card component. We have two on-click events, which is a button and the second button, which closes the modal. So the first thing to add would be in index.js. Let's close this, and we have to pass the props to our component. So let's add data and the attributes. This is a name you can choose, and we have to pass props.attributes here, which are basically my attributes here. Those attributes are the core WordPress functionality in register block type function. So if we pass the attributes like that, this would output a JSON here. So we have to JSON.stringify the props. just to output the string of these props, the JSON string of these props. So now let's compile this. No errors, as you can see. Let's go here. And if we inspect this element, even after refresh, we can see that the attribute is not here. That's because if we go here, refresh this will show us an error. And if we inspect this, go to console, we can see that the block validation has failed, and that's because the content generated by save function, so the one here, is different than content retrieved from post body. As you can see, this is shorter, and we have our props here, data and the attributes, and here we don't have it. So to fix this, we can just remove this block, update, refresh the page, and add our block again. And now if we click update, go here, refresh, we can see that our props are here. But as you can see, the button is still not working. So with these props, we can go to front.js. Let's close this. And let's make a simple test here. Let's make a console log here, front and test. And if we build it here, we still can't see this because our front file isn't yet loaded by WordPress. To load it, we need to go to index.php, and as you can see here, our index file, index.php, index.asset.php, and index.js are being loaded here. So let's copy this and let's create a new function. Let's name it similar to here, so Gutenberg user card register front. And inside this function, let's just copy these lines. Let's change the index to front, as we want to enqueue the front file. And let's change this function here to from register to enqueue. And let's hook our function to an action. The action would be wp enqueue scripts, and let's hook our function here. But before we do this, we have to make the front files compile. So let's go to our package.json. Let's go to our scripts and let's add a front file here in build, and let's do the same in start. The build command just builds our blog and starts a development server. So let's save this, close, let's build this, and as you can see now we have two files, or four exactly, front and index. And as you can see in build, we have the front file here with dependencies and front.js, which is our JS file compiled from front.js here. So now we should be able to see the console log we have here. And one more thing, we have to change this, as this is already taken here. Let's change this to front. Let's keep it simple. And if we refresh now, we can see our console log here. That's because it's here. So now we are going to make the components interactive, and to make it work we have to use React Hydrate method, which is in their documentation, and render hydrate. And this method can be used to hydrate a container with static HTML and transform the HTML to pre-built React component. As you can see here, we have element, which is our React component, and a container parameters, and the container parameter would be our HTML container. So for us this would be this one. And to hydrate, we have to wait for the DOM to be loaded, document object model to be loaded. So let's create an event. Let's add a callback function here, in which we will get all of the cards, because if we have one card this would work, but if we add 2 or 3 cards like this would only apply to the first one. Let's close this. So cards, and our class if cards. For each card we would want to get the card attributes. So the attributes, as you can remember, are in our data property, data empty attributes. So let's get it. Card data set empty attributes. But remember that this is only a string here, so we have to JSON dot parse this, and now we should be able to test this. So let's test this. Attributes, let's build this, and if we go to console, refresh this, we have our attributes, which is user data, current user, and some other attributes. So in user data we have some user data like description, first name, image, and last name. So if we go back to our code, let's use our hydrate method. To use this we have to use React DOM imported previously, hydrate, and the first parameter, as you can remember, was our component, user card wrapper. We have to pass our attributes here, and the attributes would be attributes, and the second parameter would be our parent, so card. Now let's build this, refresh this here, and it's working. So hope I helped, guys. The code will be available on my GitHub account. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. And remember to subscribe, guys.